Hey everyone, welcome back to Ontario Gardening. So today we are actually going to use some of our preserved strawberries from our garden that have been in the freezer, and we're going to make Christmas jam, spiced Christmas jam to be exact. It's a super simple recipe. All you're going to need is 6 cups of strawberries, doesn't matter if they're fresh or frozen, 2 cups of cranberries, 2 pouches of liquid pectin. So these ones are 170 mils. Usually 2 pouches come in one box, similar to this Certo brand here. And then you're going to need 5 cups of sugar, which does seem like a lot, but the recipe cuts out, the sweetness cuts out the tartness of those cranberries. And then you're going to need your spices. And the spices consist of a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of ground ginger, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground allspice. That is it. Super simple. The tools you're going to need for this are a food processor. You can use a blender or even a hand masher, like a potato masher if you don't have any equipment. And you're going to need a large saucepan. This is going to make 10 jam jars. So 10 250 ml jars. I personally am not going to use 10 of those. I'm going to use 5 of those and then 10 of the half jam jars because I'm giving these away as Christmas gifts and in stockings and stuff. So this is an approved canning recipe, so it would be shelf stable if you can it up with a boiling water canner. So if you are going to do that, you're going to need a water canner. If you're deciding that you just want to make this jam straight up, which is exactly what I'm doing, I'm not going to bother making it shelf stable. I will tell you how at the end, just in terms of times and processing, but I'm giving them away. It's the beginning of December in the next like 2 weeks. So I'm just go ahead and vacuum seal it. You don't even have to do that because this jam will last in the fridge for up to a year. Moving along, the first thing that we want to do is we are going to puree up this fruit and add it to our saucepan. Now don't puree it to the point that you could drink it. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for like a chunky puree. So similar to any other jam you would find or make or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera and show you what it looks like before we continue on. It's simple in the food processor, but like I said, if you have to use a blender or even a hand masher, like I've shown you in previous videos how to make strawberry jam, you can use that. It's fine with the strawberries. It's just when you're doing cranberries, it's a little bit harder to break the skins with a potato masher. You really need a blade of some sorts to make your life so much easier. Okay, this is what I mean by pureed. See how you can't drink it, but it's still got a good, it's jam consistency. It's perfect. Okay, so we've done that. Now at this point, we are going to add our sugar and our spices. So the 5 cups of sugar, and then all of those spices I told you about at the beginning, I can actually write them in the description box if anybody is interested in what exactly they are. Now we are going to go ahead and incorporate this all together on the stove. And you're gonna want to mix this very, very well to incorporate all of those spices into the fruit and the sugar. And as we actually get this up to temperature, it's going to start to get a little more liquidy and it'll be easier to actually whisk those spices in. So go ahead and turn this up to a medium high. We want to get this at a full rolling boil. And I can show you what that looks like when we get there. Just make sure you're stirring frequently to make sure that none of that sugar burns to the bottom. While this is going, I'm going to get my jars laid out. I have them all sterilized as well as the lids. And we are going to just get them all lined up with my funnel so that it makes it easier to work with when we're done. Okay, at this point I'm at a full rolling boil. When I stir it, it keeps boiling. We are gonna let this boil for 1 minute. Okay, once that minute is up, we are going to pull this off of the heat and get it off here completely. And now we are going to add the packets of Certo, or the packets of liquid pectin, one at a time, stirring in between each packet addition. And then we're going to immediately bring it back up to that high heat. Just make sure all of that liquid pectin is incorporated nice and well. I'm realizing that without the flash, this looks like it's orange. This is not the best color. This is not actually orange, friends. It's just from what I'm seeing on my screen, transpiring as orange. It is red, like cranberry, strawberry red. Must be picking up on some color on the camera that you don't pick up with your naked eye or something. So let's bring this back up. See, if you look on here, it's red. Let's bring this back up to that rolling boil. Once it gets there, you're gonna let it boil hard for 1 more minute. So wait until it gets back up exactly like we did in the last step, and then time it for a minute, and we will be ready to put our jam into some jars. Okay, so go ahead and ladle your jam into your jars. I've just let it sit for about 1 minute, just so it's easier to handle. And for the most part, except for the very last step, this is exactly like we would do canning. We're gonna leave a 1/4 inch head space when we funnel these in. Every jar is going to get wiped with a damp cloth or a paper towel on the rim. And then every single one of them is going to get a sterilized canning lid. Now the difference between just using these now or actually canning them up is how tight we're putting our band. If you're water bathing these, you only want to put your rings fingertip tight. If you are just keeping these and giving them as gifts or vacuum sealing them, whatever, you're going to want to just do whatever you want. And if you're looking to water bath them, once they're all fingertip tight, you're going to go ahead and throw them in there for 10 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's the smaller ones or the bigger ones. 10 minutes processing time, and then you're going to let them sit for at least 24 hours before even considering opening them. I'm going to give this a full week before I even open one and start giving them away to make sure that it's all set. Should be fine. You've got 2 pouches of the pectin in there, but I just wanted to let you know not to go opening it too quickly. We really want everything to cool down and set. So 10 minutes. I'm actually going to come back to this video and show you what it looks like in a week's time. We've already been into our jam, but it did set up beautifully, just as I suspected it would. And as you can see, nothing is orange here. It is a beautiful Christmas jam, super delicious. Follow me for more.